Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Fabled Lands. Now we find ourselves in Saqqara, and Devika has attained the lofty heights of rank 2. There are still a number of quests in Saqqara yet to complete, but most of those involve a high magic or thievery ability score, and those are our two lowest ability scores. It would be nice to get them to at least a 5 before contemplating some of these, as the consequences of failure for those roles are often pretty harsh. So what I'm probably going to do is leave Yellowport and head west into Golnir. Now, Golnir is a little more dangerous than Saqqara. It's certainly more expensive to live in, but there are some things I would like to do there before returning here. However, for now, of course, we are in Yellowport, which is the second largest city in Saqqara. It is mainly a trading town and is known for its exotic goods from distant Ankon Konu, way to the south. The Stinking River brings rich deposits of sulphur from the Lake of the Sea Dragon down to the town, where it is extracted and stored in the large waterfront warehouses run by the Merchants Guild. From here, the mineral is exported all over Harkuna. Unfortunately, all that sulphur has its drawbacks. The stink is abominable and much of the city has a yellowish hue. The river is so full of sulphur that it is virtually useless as a source of food or of drinking water. However, the demand for sulphur, especially from the sorceress guilds, is great. Politically, much has changed in the past few years. The old and corrupt king of Saqqara, Korin VII, has been deposed and executed in a military coup. General Grieve Marlock and the army now control Saqqara. The old council of Yellowport has been indefinitely dissolved, and a provost marshal, Marlos Marlock, the general's brother, appointed as military governor of the town. To leave Yellowport by sea, buy or sell ships and cargo, go to the harbour master. That's not a bad idea. How much would passage cost? 10 to Marlock City. This has changed. Sorcerer's Isle and Copper Island are available. There used to be passage to Yarimura. We will quickly visit the market, see if there's anything we want to sell or buy. Not as of yet, although that treasure map is looking very tempting. You know, if it's the one I think it is, I will risk buying it now. We have a treasure map. It shows us the Forest of the Forsaken. We see a tomb, a knightly challenge, elf glade, a gibbet, tower of despair, the clearing, hermit's cottage, much treasure to be had, but where the watcher, a hamlet of Lazars of course being lepers, hamlet of the bald ones, the river Carthag, not Carthage. Well then, let's head to Trefoil, again avoiding Shadar Tor for now. It's also worth noting that I've been using a lot of blessings and potions early on this run. I would normally be more risky, but I'm wanting to play it safe for now. The main road between Marlock City, Trefoil and Karan Baru is well maintained with regular guard posts. The Saqqarans are nothing if not efficient, and what's regular? It's just regular. An uneventful journey. The city of Trefoil is a terrifying vision of apocalyptic destruction. It had once been a thriving crossroads town, but now it is a burnt-out hulk. It was almost razed to the ground when it declared for the late king during the recent civil war and tried to hold out against the army of Grieve Marlock, the current Protector General of Saqqara. It was then sacked by the General's mercenaries, and General Marlock is now trying to rebuild it. Craftsmen are hard at work everywhere as well. Anywhere and everywhere. We can visit Olafard the Wizardly, but in the end we'll just leave town and head out onto the Cursed Moor. You're trekking across the aptly named Cursed Moor. A great rolling expanse of blasted heaths stretches before you. Grey clouds hang over a mournful, dirty, water-coloured plain studded with rocky outcrops and low hills. We are attacked by wolves. Let's hope we can take them. Two. So be it. Let's curse this one and back off. Call down the cleansing flame of the gods to burn it to cinders. As the other one closes, we will poke at it with our spear. Comes in for a bite, and we frost again, ending it rightly. Not being eaten by wolves is no small reward on its own, but you decide to get some wolf pelts as compensation for the stress. Absolutely. Now we'll head west to the River Grim. You're on the east bank of the River Grim, a great, powerful river which rushes past towards the sea. You can travel to Golnir from here, which is indeed our intent. A water sprite curses us, and we lose our safety from Stormer's blessing. Ah well, let's go west. You cross the river to the west bank and arrive in Golnir. You're walking along the bank of the River Grim, called the River of Souls because it is said to carry ghost barges laden with the souls of the dead. We meet some travellers from Saqqara. They tell you that they work for a consortium of merchants in Yellowport. We're travelling around Golnir to find out what commodities are in demand, explains the senior member of the party. Minerals are plentiful in Yellowport, as you may know, but grains and furs are in short supply. Bidding them good day, you continue along the riverbank. So, grains and furs are in short supply here or in Yellowport? We can get good money for grain in Yellowport. I have to remember the furs. Bidding them good day, you continue along the riverbank. Here on the flat country of southeast Golnir, the River Grim meanders before sluggishly debouching into the swampy delta of the Magwort Fens. Lush cornfields are on one side, the surging river on the other. You reach a point where it is possible to ford the river across a causeway of ancient weathered stones. No, I'll stay on this side, thank you very much, and head out along this eastern road. East of the Whistling Heath lie fertile lands that provide rich pickings for the yeomen of central Golnir. You encounter 7 fools who are engaged in a preposterous venture. The simpletons are trying to get their cow to climb up a ladder onto the roof on their house, where they have noticed some stalks of grass growing in the thatch. "Go on, Daisy," urges one of the 7 fools, giving the reluctant cow a shove. "Why don't you climb the ladder and cut the grass and throw it down to the cow?" you suggest. They are so pleased that they invite you to stay with them for a few days. If injured, you can recover stamina points before setting out on your way. Now, do we go to the Whistling Heath just yet? It is a confusing and tricksy place. If we do, I think I'll just avoid it for now. The town of Haggart's Corner stands at a place where 3 roads meet. Here, in certain seasons of the year, the Trow are said to come and trade their marvellous trinkets in exchange for human favours. It is a pretty pastel-hued town. Houses with high gables and mullioned bay windows are set around a series of courts where fountains splash dreamily in the sunlight. The market at Haggart's Corner amounts to just a few shops whose dusty shelves suggest they don't do a roaring trade. "People prefer to do business with the Trow," says one shopkeeper with a shrug. Who can compete? Perhaps you will find a bargain here all the same. Let's check the market. I don't think there's any unusual prices here. We could... There's some holy symbols and lockpicks. Maybe. I mean, we got some nice magic lockpicks. A holy symbol would help. Let's hold off for now, though. And take this road westwards. We shall not call it Vivian. The road snakes on between the verdant farmland. To either side you see peasants working on the fields. The barns and thatched roof cottages present an idyll of peace and contentment. And we have an uneventful journey. Well, there's another road we can follow here. The road to the coast carries a constant traffic of trade goods to and from the hinterland. A group of travellers from Saqqara rein in as they see you go by. We have no special titles and carry on our way. They don't recognise us. Here in the peaceful countryside of southwest Golnir, hay carts rumble down leafy lanes and peasants look up from their work with a cheery wave. The dangers that an adventurer must often face are easily forgotten in this idyllic setting. In fact, it's almost as if most of the secrets of Golnir are tucked away safely somewhere. We meet a godly friar. The friar tells you that he recently passed through Goldfall. People there imagine they will get rich by searching for gold that falls from the sky, but even if gold did fall from the sky each night, and there was enough for everyone in the world to collect a handful each morning, would that make you rich? He goes on his way. If everyone has the same amount of wealth, no one's rich and no one's poor. So why try to get more? Let's head to Castle Ravane, a named location that looks very fancy. The black turrets of Castle Ravane rise above the treetops. From the topmost tower flutters the black lion banner of the Ravane clan. This is the stronghold of Varna, Baroness of Ravane. Let us attempt to enter the castle. You near the heavy drawbridge. Sentries with huge black halberds block your way across the bridge. You try to convince them to let you enter. This won't be easy, but we got reasonably good odds. There we go, lovely jubbly. Castle Ravane is virtually a city in its own right. The outer courtyard is filled with stables, grain stores, pens for livestock, carpentry yards, and a smithy. Nearby, some knights are keeping fighting fit by charging with lances at a straw-filled dummy. Beyond, another line of defences encloses the inner keep. The armoury in Castle Ravane resounds with the clamour of hammers on anvils. The artisans here provide arms and armour for the greatest knights of Golnir. You can buy top-quality equipment or sell anything you do not need. Here we cannot sell our enchanted sword. I wonder, can we sell our enchanted spear? Yes, we can. Interesting. We can buy some good quality weapons and armour. And warrior skill books are for sale here. That may be important later on. For now, let's keep our spear equipped. I'm going to attempt to visit the inner keep. Risky, I know. The door into the castle keep is guarded by elite knights in gleaming, gem-studded armour. They watch you narrowly as you approach, then slowly cross their halberds to bar your path. "What is your business here?" asks one. "Well, we shall tell them. The guards are not convinced you are important enough to be admitted to the keep. Has the Baroness summoned you? They demand to know. She is very busy. To convince them to let you in, you need to make a charisma roll to difficulty of 10. Now, our charisma is a 7, so it shouldn't be too hard. although the consequences of failure are dire, so we better make good use of our time here. The guards are convinced by your persuasive tongue. One of them gestures with his thumb, saying, "Go on in then, before I change my mind." I mean, these aren't just ordinary guards, these are knights who are on guard duty. That makes her really influential. The inner keep of the castle is a mighty fortress with walls several meters thick. Narrow windows admit golden shafts of sunlight in the gloomy hallway. Let us seek out the wizard Estragon. I don't think he has a friend called Vladimir. And I don't think he knows anything about Godot. Oh, pardon me. You find Estragon in his laboratory deep under the bedrock on which the castle rests. Crude stone steps wind down into a glimmering darkness filled with strange lights and fumes, one of which must have really got to me and caused me to emit a little belch. Estragon strides forward, holding an alembic which he is heating with incendiary spells. The glow of the chemicals throws his seamed old face into sharp relief against the backdrop of darkness. "I've been waiting for you," Estragon says. "There is a task you can perform, and in return I'll teach you a little sorcery. I require several objects for one of my biggest experiments," says Estragon. "The first being a scarab amulet. Go and find one. When you bring it here, I'll reward you well." "And where am I supposed to find one of those?" Estragon fixes you with his gaze. "I wouldn't be asking you to find one if I knew that now, would I?" Then his face softens and he adds, "For what it's worth, these beetles were worshipped in the ancient Shadar Empire. They've made a bunch of those pendants back then. Of course, where those may have ended up in the millennia since the Empire's fall is anyone's guess. Well, we shall accept the mission." You accept the first of the wizard's tasks. It seems that's as much help as you're going to get from him, so you leave him to his wizardly devices. The inner keep of the castle is a mighty fortress with walls several meters thick. Narrow windows admit golden shafts of sunlight into the gloomy hallway. We shall request an audience with the Baroness. We may do this twice. Sir Debrumas, the seneschal, takes you into the Baroness's court. She sits in regal splendour on the gilded seat of House Ravane. A gonfalon showing the black lion crest hangs on the wall behind her. Oh god, I turned into a black rapper. Lion! Another one! Another one! Another one! Lion! It's a fucking lion. Deal with it, mister. So, a gonfalon showing the black lion crest hangs on the wall behind her. Although young and slender, she has the fierce, unflinching gaze of one who is born to rule. "Why have you come?" she asks. "Well, my lady, in pursuit of a quest, of course." "You wish to serve this noble household," replies Baroness Varna. "In what capacity?" "Well now, I'm going to go this one." So Debrumas takes you to the far side of the room. "Rumour has it there is a plot against the Baroness," says the seneschal. "However, I lack enough information on the matter. An outsider could be useful to gather some clues unnoticed, find out who might be behind it, and expose them to the throne. We shall accept this mission." You nod to show you understand. "I shall keep my eyes open, Sir Debrumas." "We will. While we are also here, tell her we would like to make a map. The mountains of the north are said to be the broken backbone of the dead god Harkoon, who lies across the width of the world," says Varna. "Most people do not dare to venture there, and no map has ever been made showing the paths, valleys, and hidden passes. We will endeavour to attempt this mission." You nod to show you understand. I shall bring you that map, my lady. Well now, the inner keep of the castle is a mighty fortress of walls several meters thick. Narrow windows admit golden shafts of sunlight into the gloomy hallway. Let us depart from this place. You can travel south towards the coast or venture into the heartland of Golnir. Journeying by river costs 5 shards. We'll take the road northwards. And we're going to try to roll an event. We may need to visit this place some many times. The road is built of old grey cobblestones, which are now half overgrown with a carpet of rich green grass. Sometimes you pass a patrol of soldiers, or a peasant leading his cattle to market. You do not expect any trouble on this well-patrolled stretch of road. And we do not have any. The village of Delpton flourishes by the shipping of grain downriver to Ringhorn. Delpton Market is small by the standards of the great cities of the south coast, but you may find some useful knickknacks. If we're going to make a map, we will need some parchment. And perhaps we should travel south again towards Castle Ravane. We encounter a pardoner. "Confess your sins," says the pardoner you meet along the road. "For a small fee I shall grant you absolution." "Oh, how small?" 7 shards. Let's pay his fee. The pardoner gives you a special blessing. This allows you to re-roll any failed sanctity roll once. After making a second attempt at the roll, whether successful or not, the blessing is used up. Well, let's meander back to Delpton and onto the river road once again. This may take some time. We meet with partner again. We already have the blessing. Sometimes the dice just don't like to roll the numbers we want. This was an example of one of those times when there was a location we wished to visit for a specific result. I'm not going to do this often, but there are a few times in this playthrough I will almost have to be reduced to this, unfortunately. An eerie glimmer shines between the trees that overhang the road a little way ahead. Venturing a little further, you see in the gathering darkness that an old iron gibbet is set on one side of the road. The glowing light hangs around it like a bubble of marsh gas. Let's go closer to investigate. You meet a figure palely loitering under the gibbet. The hairs on the back of your neck rise when he steps forward and passes his hand right through you. "Yes, I am dead," he moans, "wrongfully executed on this gibbet for a crime I did not commit. The real murderer had me framed, but I'll be avenged on him yet with your help. He wears a velvet patch over one eye. Find him and bring me what lies under the patch. I'll be grateful. Never think I won't." Let's accept the mission. You nod. He vanishes. A shiver passes up your spine. However long ago this crime was perpetrated, the spirit cannot have rest until his tormentor is dead. Well, let's head back up to Delpton. A small village that benefits from shipping grain downriver to Ringhorn. It's already been described. Let's head further north, along the Reese riverbank. You're travelling across the fields and farmlands east of the Reese River. We shall not call it Kyle. And we have an uneventful journey. Marmarek is a depot town where the... depot town? Depends what... It depends on the context of the word for pronunciation. It's like a supply depot. I mean, depot is rarer, maybe a little more old-fashioned. Marmarek is a depot town where the prospectors who mine the foothills come to buy supplies. Grey stone-built dwellings huddle under the roofs made of slate tiles. You will not find much of interest in the stores at Marmarek. Pickaxes, candles, tents, buckets, sieves, all you need for mining and prospecting, friend, declares the store owner jovially. Well, it's got a point. Compass is nice, but very expensive. Ah well. We'll head north to the spine of Harkoon, that great mountain range we were sent to survey. High, jagged peaks tumble up to the verge of heaven. Legend has it that this mountain range is the exposed backbone of the slaughtered god Harkoon. As you clamber up a steep trail, you see a waterfall gushing from high above. Something metallic glitters on the rock face where the waterfall issues out. Let's climb up for a closer look. A golden plaque is embedded on the rock face here. You wipe away the grime with your finger, hoping to find an interesting message, but it seems to be gibberish. If Mublif Joe Sbjok Pix Swifs Kvn If Sjo Oblf Uif Mufgu Kbri Diptf Vuif Uif Husfo Diftu Tubznbhdjbm Obulf Uif Tijfmi. Perhaps it is an inscription in the language of old Otaku. Or is it some sort of cipher? Before we climb back, let's enter this into our notes. Now, come on you. UIF. So we don't need these old notes. MBLF. JO. SBJO. CPX. SJWFS. QVMM. UIF again. That UIF is repeating, so we got a bit of a pattern there. SJOH, UBLF, SJOH, UBLF. VIF. No, it's UIF again. Right, okay. MFGU. Okay. QBUI. DIPPTF. UIF, HSFFO, DIFTU, DIFTU. I'm keeping this in capital letters for now, until I can make more sense of it. There's no small letters. TBZ. The Z may be the end of a word. I will NBHJ. Put a slash in there because we don't know if it's the end of a word or not. DBM. UBLF. UIF. TIJ. FME. Okay. There we go. Climbing back down, you continue on your way. You're in the central part of the limestone mountains, separating Golnir from the Great Steppes. We do not have a map of the mountains. No one has ever made a comprehensive map of these mountains. If you wish to attempt it, you will need to explore this region and the peaks extending off to the east. To do this, you must first possess a parchment. We do, and we have no option to choose not to. It's time to make a scouting roll at a difficulty of 15, so 16. We need a 10. We have no potion to aid us in this endeavour. Ah! We have a blessing? What is that blessing? A scouting blessing. Here's the thing. Rolling again doesn't really increase the chance. Let's just take the loss for now. We can always come back and do this later. While trying to chart the extent of the river gorge, you slip and fall, taking an injury of 11 stamina points. Luckily, you survive. Well, let's head south to the Tower of Despair. That sounds like just the right place to wait. Marmarek might not even have a place we could save a night. I don't remember it having one. Wind whistles across a wide expanse of heathland dotted with just a few scattered hamlets. To the north, half hidden in the murk of low cloud, looms the snow-peaked mountain range known as the Spine of Harkoon. You seek high and low, but after many days you have to admit you are stumped. Even though there are many legends of the Tower of Despair in these parts, you cannot find any sign of it. Perhaps we despair of discovering its location. You stand on the wind-swept endless plains and wonder where you should seek your next adventure. I'd say on the endless plains, which are known as the breadbasket of Golnir. A vast rolling expanse of fields that gleam in summer like quilts of gold. Pretty whitewashed villages nestle beside lazy streams. The farmers are filled with plump livestock. Danger is unknown to the inhabitants of this idyllic landscape. When you are ready, you head on towards fresh pastures. Wheatfields is in the very heart of the fertile countryside of Golnir and forms the hub of trade in the hinterland. You can buy a house here for 100 shards. At the moment, that's more than half our money. A visit to Wheatfields Market is a noisy, bustling affair. You force your way through crowds of farmers who have come to trade their cattle. Outside the taverns, merchants from the south lean eagerly across the tables as they discuss the year's grain prices. You'll notice a lot of these villages don't have inns. Ah well. The road wends its way past countless numbers of farms, passing through villages where the peasants live well on their bountiful harvests. We have an uneventful journey, and shall head on to the Tekshin Tavern. A tavern squats beside a mill pond. Weeping willows shade the tables in the beer garden at the back. It looks an inviting place to spend a few days. Tekshin, the innkeeper, is a wingless mannequin who dresses in a brocade waistcoat and affects human mannerisms. We don't know much of the mannequin yet, but we will hopefully learn more of them in future. Tekshin charges 2 shards a day for board and lodging. Each day you spend here you can recover 1 stamina point if injured up to the limit of your normal unwounded stamina score. We shall spend a night, eat, drink and be merry, for tomorrow we may die. We're now back up to 4 whole stamina points. Let's leave and head east to the monastery of Mulhern. Mulhern is the blacksmith of the gods, famous for his cleverness and the breadth of his knowledge. Here, at the monastery, his most devout adherents live an austere existence, striving to honour the god through a regimen of hard physical labour combined with academic study. If you're injured, this is a good place to rest and recuperate from your wounds. Let's stop off at the monastery. The monks must first approve you in order to gain admittance. It's a charisma check, and we've gained some nice increases to our charisma already. Here you can rest and recuperate if injured, join in the devotional rituals, or simply travel on to your next destination. We shall attempt to recover from our wounds. We recover 4 stamina, and then we will speak to the abbot. The abbot is pleased to tell you about the god Mulhern. Originally he was a god of craftsmen, blacksmiths and stonemasons, he says. It was Mulhern who gave mankind the secret of making fire, but he also taught the secret of writing, which is why he is the patron deity of scholars. Our library here is the most magnificent in the world. Let's ask him about the man with the velvet eye patch for some reason. Ah, you mention your eerie experience on the cobblestone-owned highway near Castle Ravane. The abbot seems skeptical. I am not sure that the spirits of the dead can truly speak to the living. Perhaps you dreamed the entire episode. If so, it is a remarkable coincidence, chips in one of the monks. A man wearing a velvet eye patch passed through here a while ago. He said that a lucky stroke of fate had saved him from the gallows. Oh, where was he bound, you ask? East, to Karanbaru and Saqqara, I think. Well, well, well. We can rest here some more. We might as well. And, what the hell, let's go the whole hog. Now let's travel on. To the grim riverbank, no less. You're walking along the bank of the grim river, called the River of Souls, because it is said to carry ghost barges laden with the souls of the dead. We meet some travellers from Saqqara who tell us they are merchants, working for a consortium in Yellowport. We're travelling around Golnir to find out what commodities are in demand, explains the senior member of the party. Minerals are plentiful in Yellowport, as you may know, but grains and furs are in short supply. Bidding them good day, you continue along the riverbank. Here, on the flat country of southeast Golnir, the River Grim meanders before sluggishly debouching into the swampy delta of the Magwort Fens. Lush cornfields are on one side, the surging river on the other. You reach a point where it is possible to ford the river across a causeway of ancient weathered stones, which is exactly what we'll do heading back into Saqqara once more. You're on the east bank of River Grim, a great powerful river which rushes past towards the sea. You can travel to Golnir from here. That is not my intent. You catch a smolder fish while fishing. There's something fishy about this catch. Maybe it's the smell. Let's take it with us anyway, and head out onto the Cursed Moor where we may encounter more wolves. You're trekking across the aptly named Cursed Moor. A great rolling expanse of blasted heath stretches before you. Grey clouds hang over a mournful, dirty, water-coloured plain, studded with rocky outcrops and low hills. Fortunately, we encounter no wolves and head on to Trefoil. The main road between Marlock City, Trefoil and Karan Baru is well maintained with regular guard posts. The Sakarans are nothing if not efficient. Oh, a bad omen. You lose one of your blessings at random. It's the Sanctity blessing. Oh no, we must continue on without it. Fortunately, our Sanctity is one of our highest ability scores. Not quite as high as Charisma, with the current benefits of the Magic Mandolin, however. The city of Trefoil is a terrifying vision of apocalyptic destruction. It had once been a thriving crossroads town, but now it is a burnt-out hulk. It was almost razed to the ground when it declared for the late king during the recent civil war, and tried to hold out against the army of Grieve Marlock, the current Protector General of Saqqara. It was then sacked by the general's mercenaries, and General Marlock is now trying to rebuild it. Craftsmen are hard at work everywhere, and we shall visit Olifard the Wizardly. He owes us a favour or two after all. You find a large red pavilion which has been erected over a ruin. Olifard the Wizardly is inside. He greets you warmly. Olifard can use his sorcery to teleport you instantly to certain places at a cost of 100 shards a journey. Let's ask him if he knows anything about ciphers. Ah, you have seen an intriguing but somewhat convoluted message, says Olifard with a sigh of excitement in his voice. Please tell me everything. You tell the wizard about the bizarre golden plaque. You can never be sure without knowing the key, but ciphers such as these tend to replace each letter from the alphabet with its preceding one. Yes, you see, quite handy back in the day. It seems there is nothing more to learn from Olifard. But fortunately, when I went to school as a child, I spent plenty of time singing the alphabet and stamping my times tables into the floor during the first 2 or 3 years at school. So, QRSTU, HIJ, EFG, so V, LMN, the L, AB, HIJK, EF, the lake, HIJ, I, NO, the lake in QRST, yep, A before B, in Ra, J, H, I, Ray, have I, L, M, N, O, N, in rain, B before, okay, it's rainbow, isn't it? OP, yep. WXYZ, yep. In rainbow, I, VW, river, yep. The lake in Rainbow River. LMNOP, QR, LMNOP, QRST, UV, WXYZ. Yes. So P, UV, PU. Aha. Double M, so L. Pull. Okay. I'm going to leave it a new line, just in case it's a separate phrase. It's going to get tricky down here somewhere. Pull V, R, I before J, N, O, yep, okay, E, F, G, H, I, yes, pull the ring, T, A, Hijkl, take V. Might as well do all those UIFs into Vs now. To save time. Take the LM, L, EF, G, F, T before you. Take the left. QRST, hang on. LMNOP, Q, so P, path. PA, yep. UI, THI, yes. So the lake and the Rainbow River, pull the ring, take the left path. CH, double P, double O, S, E, choose. Okay, this is looking like another. Choose the E, F, G, H, G, R before S, double F, so double E, and then the O becomes an N. Choose the green, C, H, I, E, S, T. QRSTS, A before B, WXYZ, say. Okay, that probably then is a new line. Say N, MN, the B becomes an A. EFGH, I, C, A again, and an L. Say magical, T, you know what I'm going to do? T, A, K, E, take the S before T, H, I, E, L, and D. So the message we have is the lake in the Rainbow River. Pull the ring, take the left path. Choose the green chest, say magical, take the shield. That seems rather important. Let's travel more conventionally for now. You join the much-travelled road that connects Trefoil and Karan Baru. The traffic mostly consists of convoys of troops and supplies. And as we travel, we are extremely grateful to Olifard the Wizardly for helping us with this endeavour. Eventually you come to the Weary Pilgrim Tavern, a way station between the cities. The tavern costs you 1 shard a day. Each day you spend here you can recover 1 stamina point if injured, up to the limit of your normal unwounded stamina score. Let's continue up the main road for now, which is nearly blocked by wagons and supply convoys. A troop of soldiers forces its way through the throng. The men bang heads indiscriminately to clear people out of the way. We are not banged upon the head and make it through to Karan Baru. Karan Baru is a medium-sized town that acts as a way station between the citadel to the north and the rich towns of the south. It is a garrison town. Many supplies, arms and soldiers move through Karan Baru on the north-south trail. Shops, temples, traders and the like have sprung up here to serve the needs of the military. There is also a sizable mining community, for the mines of Saqqara lie in the Bronze Hills just outside of town, and a slave market where poor unfortunates sold into slavery are brought for work in the mines. The Karan Baru market consists of several covered arcades. Much of its stock is for miners and soldiers, and it is run with business-like efficiency by the Sakaran military. You have heard that the man with the velvet eye patch should be in Karan Baru. If you want to search for him, you must explore the city. We do want to search for him, so let's do just that. You walk the dusty streets of the garrison city in search of the man with the velvet eye patch. There are several people with eye patches, but none with a velvet one. You ask around the taverns and bars of the rougher areas of Karan Baru and make a charisma roll, which we certainly succeed at. A man accosts you as you are leaving a tavern. His breath reeks of rotting teeth and his ear has been cut off, the mark of a man punished for piracy. "Give me 10 shards and I'll tell you what you want to know," he says. "We'll pay up." The man takes the money, bites a coin and spits. Satisfied, he says, "The Witch's Cauldron. That's where you'll find him." Probably calls us a landlubber as we depart as well. Later you find the Witch's Cauldron Tavern in a maze of back streets. Looking through a window you spot a man with a velvet eye patch sitting at a table eating a meal. We could walk in and challenge him, where he's surrounded by people who may back him up or ambush him when he leaves. I think we'll take the latter option. When he emerges, you are waiting for him. Let's make a thievery roll. That's a tricky one. But we have a potion of stealth, which we are going to absolutely neck. Having chugged that, we'll have a slightly easier time. He doesn't notice you hiding in the shadowy doorway of a nearby derelict house. As he passes, you step out and attack him, taking him completely by surprise. He goes down with your first blow. Searching him, you find 25 shards. Then you flip up his eye patch. Nestling in the eye socket is a sparkling gem, a flame opal. You pluck it free. Quickly, you haul the body into the shadows and head for the city's centre. Let's go to an inn to stay the night, develop a bit of a cover story, make sure people remember seeing us there. The Blue Griffin Tavern is frequented by soldiers and mercenaries. The tavern costs you 1 shard a day. Each day you spend here, you can recover 1 stamina point if injured, up to the limit of your normal unwounded stamina score. Let's spend 3 shards, buy a round of drinks at the bar, and listen for rumours. Make sure we talk to everyone and they remember seeing us here. You hear an interesting story about one of Baroness Ravain's knights in Golnir. Apparently he is plotting against her. "Intrigue and treachery in the court of the Baroness," mutters a man before his voice fades to a whisper. There's not much else to hear, but we have information now regarding our intrigue and treachery quest. We're going to need more information before we can return to the Baroness and reveal the identity of the traitor. But at least we've heard something. We also have the eye to take back to the ghost. Now then, let us depart and decide if we want to go pick up some more potions. We probably... No, let's... Let's stay in town, go to market, sell our 2 spare wolf pelts first. We shall head west to the Bronze Hills. You're walking through Bronze Hills. Virtually the whole area has been given over to mining. Everywhere, quarries and mine shafts abound. It is a horrible expanse of torn-up earth. Hardly any areas of green are left. Great heaps of excavated rock, leached of their useful minerals, mar the landscape. If they were escalated rock, that would be even more disturbing. You find a quarry that is open to the public. That is to say, if you pay 50 shards, you can dig for an hour in a silver mine. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to head further west to the castle of the Dragon Knights. Let's ignore this greyed out option and the greyed out option that was at the inn back into Aran Baru. Those will be available to us later on. It might also explain why I've been avoiding Shadar Tor for so long in Saqqara. You are wandering across the wilderness of northwestern Saqqara. There is a magnificent castle nearby with many different pennants flying from its towers. As you draw nearer, you see that the pennants all represent different coloured dragons. A red dragon, black dragon, green dragon, and so on. Outside the gates, a jousting list has been set up and a few warriors are trying their hand against some knights who have dragon symbols on their shields. A knight in full plate armour rides up and says, "Welcome to the castle of the Dragon Knights. It is our custom to joust against all who would come here, for a wager, of course." He explains that you must bet the weapon and suit of armour that you will use for the joust. If you lose, you forfeit the weapon and armour. If you win, you get the armour and weapon of the knights you defeat. Most of your opponents, you note, will be using a sword and plate armour. Well, our armour is nowhere near as fancy, so we shall not oblige. Let's head on down to the riverbank. This is the east bank of the River Grim, near its source in the spine of Harkoon, far to the north. You reach a ford where you can travel to the west bank for 1 shard. You could try swimming across instead, but the current is strong. You need to succeed at a scouting roll with a difficulty of 10 to do so. Well, our scouting is 6, so we need a 5. Let's just pay, it's only 1 shard. You pay to ford the river. Once you cross to the west bank, you traverse the river valley. It is not long before you reach a small settlement called Conflas. You come to Conflas, a thriving market town at the point where the 2 rivers meet. It is... I've been to 2 rivers meet. It's down in Bournemouth. The point where the 2 rivers meet. It is a delightful town of white-fronted houses with brightly painted timber frames. Actually, I wonder if the swimming pool's still there. Anyway, the burghers of the town are open and friendly. As one explains to you, we tell the baronies that we pay tax to the Saqqarans, and the Saqqarans that we pay tax to Castle Ravane, so they both leave us alone. That's why you'll never find a long face in Conflas. Well, in Conflas we can sell our smolder fish. There we go. We're getting a little bit of money. Let's leave town. And we'll stay on the eastern bank of the river and head up towards the Abbey of Lacuna. If you're an initiate of Lacuna, then you have the option to visit the nearby abbey of your goddess. Non-initiates cannot usually find the path to the abbey, as it is hidden and protected by powerful spells, though you can attempt to uncover it by making a magic roll at difficulty of 15, or a scouting roll at difficulty of 18. No, I'm not looking for the abbey, it's fine. The broad, gently rolling pasture lands between the Grim and the Rainbow rivers lie before you. Wool is sent south from here to make the rich gowns of the merchant princes of Ringhorn and Matricians. We meet some nuns from the Abbey of Lacuna, who are instantly recognizable in their green and brown habits. Greeting you with friendly smiles, they offer to take you to the Abbey. That's fine, but that's not why I'm here. Let's head to the Rainbow River. And if you're wondering why that sounds familiar, the lake in the Rainbow River is somewhere we would like to go. We apparently wish to say the word magical. You follow the course of the frothing Rainbow River as it tumbles across flat, glistening stones and boulder-strewn rapids. We come across some hunters in a canoe. They are in a quandary. They cannot go home to their wives until they have caught some fish, but they have lost their only hook. "Can you help?" they implore. "Sadly, we do not have a fish hook." Let's head up to the waterfall. You come to a pool at the bottom of a waterfall. Here, a fine spray hangs in the air like sparkling mist. The longer you look at it, the more you imagine you can see dancing figures outlined in the mist. Above the roar of the waterfall, you seem to hear soft voices calling to you, and we gain memories of the waterfall in front of the golden plaque in the spine of Harkoon. Let's stay here a little longer. Gradually, you begin to see distinct silvery figures wavering at— Wait! Oh, we screwed up. Wavering in the air in front of you. We are the spirits of the waterfall, they whisper to you. We can show you great treasure, but only once. Oh, one great treasure is enough, you reply glibly. You misunderstand. It is not easy to get the treasure. There are snares and challenges. You will have only one chance. If you have not seen and decoded the plaque, you can only rely on luck. Enigmatic. What will you decide? Let's leave. We need to get the bleep out of here. Go. Back down the Rainbow River to Conflass. We come across a gypsy camp. The gypsies offer to sell you a rabbit's foot charm for 30 shards. It'll bring you good luck, friend, insists a grinning old woman with a face like a walnut. Let's buy it. We now have a rabbit's foot charm. It may indeed bring us good luck. Ignore the Abbey of Lacuna. We're not trying to find it. We meet some nuns. They offer to take us there. It's not where we want to go. Let's go to Conflass and go to Market, where we will purchase a lantern, because it's going to be bloody dark in those tunnels down there. Then we'll go back towards the Abbey of Lacuna. We won't look for it. We might find the nuns. They did not find us this time. We'll go to the Rainbow River, where we have an uneventful journey. Go back up to the waterfall. We wait for the water sprites to come, and they tell us the same thing as before, but this time we have a lantern. Let's tell them to show us the treasure. Plucking up your sleeves with damp, ethereal fingers, the spirits lead you to the shallow water below the torrent. Here you can see a heavy jade ring set into the riverbed. When you pull it, the waterfall miraculously stops as though a tap had been turned off. In the rock face beyond, there are 2 caves. We have come to the lake in the Rainbow River. We have pulled the ring. We must now take the left-hand path. The tunnel is in darkness. You will need either a lantern or a candle to proceed. We have a lantern. Let us continue. The tunnel leads to a chamber deep inside the cliff. Stalactites as fine as silver threads hang from the ceiling, surrounding a table of rock where there are 3 chests. One is of corroded copper, one of rusty iron, and one of tarnished silver. Now, when copper corrodes, it turns green with verdigris, and we have been instructed to choose the green chest. The iron would go a rusty red. The silver, it goes, I think, a kind of brownish, reddy brown colour. So we'll open the copper chest. You sense some magic surrounding the corroded copper chest. When you try to open it, a voice at your shoulder makes you jump in alarm, but there's only one of the spirits. It is only one of the spirits that has followed you down the tunnel. You can open the chest only if you know its secret, it says. And we are instructed here to say magical. Enter the secret answer you have obtained in order to open the chest. Magical. The chest opens. Inside you find a sword and a shield. The spirit adds, "You must choose one of these items, and we shall take the shield." It's a magic shield which gives +2 defense and 20% chance to block attacks. Not that I'm aware of ever seen an attack be blocked. I'm not sure if there's a special animation that plays or something. Before you can do anything else, you find the chamber is spinning around you. A dark vortex seems to open at your feet and you plunge in. Mere moments later, you find yourself lying among the rushes at the river's edge. The waterfall is flowing again, and the spirits have departed. And we have a magical shield. Boop! Up goes our defense. We feel much safer in combat now. And with that, I'm going to remove this note. And I'm going to end the episode. I hope you all enjoyed this one. We got our magic shield, and it shall protect us against many a foe. And I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next episode. I'll say goodbye for now though, and cheerio everyone. See you all soon.